The Harlequins in Warhammer 40k are enigmatic, deadly warriors who serve the laughing god Kagorok and are part of the Eldar race. However, within this race, the Harlequins occupy a unique role as performers, warriors, and custodians of Eldar myth. They are skilled in both warfare and theatrical performance, blurring the line between deadly combat and ritualistic dance. Despite their flamboyant appearance, brightly colored, patterned armor, and masks, their combat prowess is terrifying. They can traverse the battlefield with supernatural agility, utilizing technology that allows them to phase in and out of reality, making them difficult targets while striking with extreme precision. In battle, the Harlequins perform as a deadly ballet, seamlessly weaving through enemies with incredible grace and speed. Their troops are often equipped with close combat weapons and embrace guerrilla-style warfare. They are known for their highly mobile units like the Skyweavers and Starweavers, enhancing their hit-and-run tactics. Harlequins are also custodians of the Black Library, a repository of ancient knowledge hidden from the wider galaxy, and they play a crucial role in protecting Eldar secrets. Despite their smaller numbers compared to other factions, Harlequins are feared for their combination of artistry, trickery, and martial skill, serving as both the performers of Eldar legends and the bringers of death.
Razzle Dazzle camouflauge, also known as dazzle camouflage, represents one of the most visually striking military innovations of the 20th century. Its inception dates back to World War I, a period marked by significant advancements in naval warfare technology and tactics. Unlike traditional camouflage that aims to conceal, dazzle camouflage was designed to confuse and disorient. It was the brainchild of British marine artist Norman Wilkinson, who proposed this novel approach to the Admiralty in 1917 as a means to address the growing threat of German U-boats. The design of dazzle camouflage consisted of complex patterns of geometric shapes in contrasting colors, covering the entirety of a ship's surface. These patterns were not intended to hide the ship, but to make it difficult for enemy periscopes to estimate the vessel's size, type, speed, and direction of travel. The principle behind dazzle camouflage leverages human visual perception, particularly the difficulties in processing complex patterns, moving at varying speeds and angles. For periscopes in World War I, which offered a limited and periscopic view, this made it significantly harder to lock onto a target or predict its movements accurately. The implementation of dazzle camouflage was extensive. Thousands of British and Allied ships were painted in various dazzle schemes by the end of World War I. Artists and naval officers collaborated closely, using scale models to test and refine their designs before applying them to full-size vessels. The effectiveness of dazzle camouflage has been debated among historians and military analysts. While it's challenging to quantify its success directly, anecdotal evidence of the time suggests it did have a psychological impact on submarine crews and made targeting a bit more difficult. However, advances in technology, particularly range-finding and targeting systems, gradually reduced the effectiveness of visual deception tactics. Nonetheless, the legacy of dazzle camouflage extends beyond its military application. Its striking aesthetics have influenced various fields, including art, fashion, and design. Today it is recognized not only as a tactical innovation, but also as a captivating example of functional art. Museums and historical societies often feature dazzle camouflage in exhibitions to highlight its unique blend of utility and design. One can also find this kind of logic in patterning even in nature, such as with herds of zebra, where it is difficult for predators to visually isolate a single animal. While the practical use of dazzle camouflage has faded, with advancements in detection and targeting technologies, its impact on the interplay between art, design, and military strategy continues to be celebrated and studied. As a form of deception and confusion on the high seas, Dazzle camouflage remains a fascinating chapter in the history of warfare. And it is for this reason that I want to take the iconic and mesmerizing designs of Razzle Dazzle off of the high seas and into the 41st millennium, as the perfect complement to the battlefield tactics of the Harlequins. The chaos, confusion, illusion, and uncertainty that the Harlequins are so renowned for can be expressed across the surfaces of their vehicles and outfits in this unique form of quote-unquote camouflage. What would it feel like to be attacked and raided by this kind of enemy? Let us meet the Masque of the Bloodstone Squall as they raid a helpless ranch in a distant part of the galaxy.
The stillness of the moment shattered as an unexpected force burst onto the scene. A whirlwind of motion and color that tore through the tranquility like a blade. Their arrival was not heralded by sound or warning. It was as though the fabric of reality itself twisted, contorting to eject these agents of chaos into the clearing. The Harlequins raged, their raid a blur of chaos and light. They moved with a grace that was otherworldly, their forms a blur of Razzle Dazzle distortion that seemed to fracture the light around them. It was disorienting, watching them, a visual cacophony that made the eyes water and the mind reel. Each movement was deliberate, a part of a dance that was both mesmerizing and terrifying in its intensity. It felt as if the air had thinned, charged with an electric current that buzzed within the ground. The world seemed to tilt, perspectives shifting as the Harlequins wove their way through the gluts. The imprisoned creatures, monstrous and imposing in their own right, were suddenly made small, their usual dimensions upended by the sheer force of the Harlequins' presence. The gluts, for their part, were consumed by panic. Their roars filled the air, a cacophony of fear and confusion that underscored the chaos. The Harlequins were corralling them with a precision that belied the apparent madness of their assault. The ground trembled beneath the weight of their fear, the sound of their distress echoing off the trees. Here were creatures that inspired nightmares reduced to mere playthings in the hands of the Harlequins. The Harlequins' laughter cut through the din, a sound that was both jubilant and chilling. It was the laughter of beings for whom the line between amusement and cruelty was blurred. Their enjoyment of the chaos, of the fear they sowed, was palpable, infusing the air with a malevolence that made the skin crawl. As quickly as they had arrived, the Harlequins completed their task. An unlucky glut was now writhing suspended above the ground, bound by chains of energy that hummed with power. The rest of the creature's roars had dwindled to whimpers, their massive forms huddled and defeated. The clearing, once a place of mystical communion, was now a scene of conquest and despair. And then, with a flicker of light that seemed to bend around them, the Harlequins vanished as suddenly as they had appeared, leaving behind a silence that was heavy with the echo of their passage.
I hope you enjoyed discovering this special group of Razzle Dazzle Harlequins. If you want to learn more about the backgrounds of these special characters and what the Masque of the Bloodstone Squall are up to, be sure to follow the links to my Patreon in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching.